Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of La Verdad Sana podcast. I am your host, Nicole Diaz, and I know that I've been MIA for the past week. I'm sorry for not uploading an episode last week. I've just been a little bit tired, Sometimes life just it's lifing, and sometimes, it's okay to take a break. It's okay to kind of like rest and, kind of get back on track. But always remember to never give up. Always, like, if you have a goal, if you're like aiming for something, if you really want something and you know that you need to work hard for it, it's okay to take breaks. That's all I have to say. But for today's episode, before we get into it, I want to share something that I got for my birthday that I am so excited to show you guys. It's so freaking cute. Shout out to my friend Jessica. Um, she is very thoughtful. I I feel like she's another me because this is some shit I would do for a friend too, but she went out of her way to custom make a cup that says La Verdad Sana podcast with my image on it. And then in the back, it says, careful or you'll end up on my next podcast. This is so freaking cute. Um, Honestly, like on my birthday, I really truly saw the good people that I have around me. I'm very grateful for each and everyone that went to celebrate my life with me. And honestly, I'm not the type of person that likes to celebrate their birthday much. Just because growing up, I didn't really have the option to celebrate my birthday. It was always very sad for me. It was something that I was not very like excited to do at all times. So every year with my siblings as an adult, I would just tell them like, "Oh, I just want something simple, a little food. Just my sister cooks my favorite food, or we cut a cake, or we go to dinner." Something very simple, but for some reason in my heart, I really wanted to like celebrate with um a lot of my good friends that I have made throughout the years, and a lot of good friends that I made at work. Not only are they my coworkers, but I feel like I have been able to build that relationship with them where they're family to me now. They have shown their loyalty, their respect towards me and my family. And honestly, for this episode, my question was, what's something that you have held back on doing, not because you didn't want to, but because you feel that you weren't ready? That's a question that you should ask yourself. Um, it could be anything in general, but I think for me, and it comes back to the relationships that I have built with my coworkers, my friends, my family. Um, I think for me, it was a little bit hard for me to speak on a certain topic because I was very hurt from it. And I feel like I have finally made peace with the situation or with that person. There was a person, we're gonna name this individual Nancy. Okay, we're gonna give her the name of Nancy. And so I met Nancy um for the first time. I don't know if it was through a FaceTime that I was having with another one of my friends. I met her there, and then eventually I ended up seeing her in person in a gathering. Um, and a lot of people spoke bad about Nancy because of the things she has done to other people. And I've always kind of been the person to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, or at least I try. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and kind of get to know them myself. And I have also kind of gave a lot of people a lot of trust as well. And that's just who I am, that's just who I am. I like to be a good person, I prefer a million times being hurt by others than being the one hurting people. And so I gave Nancy the benefit of the doubt. I wanted to give her a chance, I heard her out cuz she was going through a lot, and I was kind of like, okay, I feel bad for her, I feel bad for her. Um I'll be that maybe older sister that she doesn't have. Um I'll be that friend that she needs, because I'm such an empath that I feel other people's pain. I feel that I have the, ability to kind of feel other people's emotions. And I've learned f- for it not to affect me now. But I've always had a good heart, And so I try to give Nancy the benefit of the doubt. I try to be that friend, or that person that would hear her out or whatever, And then, like, I started noticing more and more people kind of saying, like, oh, just be careful, or hey, like, this is not a good person, or, just giving me the heads up of whatever the case was. And I was just like, okay, And there was a situation that Nancy was going through. Unfortunately, she was put on spotlight by things that she had done herself, or, people were just kind of like noticing the patterns. And she basically, she had already made her bed and she had to lay on it. And I tried to, still be there for her. Um, I try to, have her back without telling her, or telling her like, hey, like, this is what's going on. I didn't do it in that form, but I did go out of my way to kind of like tell other people like, hey, you know what, like, that's enough, or just stop, like, the girl makes mistakes, whatever. We all make mistakes. We're all human, we all fuck up at one point, whatever the case is. And I feel like it's not okay. Um, because we never know what people are capable of doing. So I stood up for her without her knowing, maybe, or without her asking for it, or without letting her know, because that's what friends do, when you see one of your people kind of going through something, you want to have their back, you want to have that loyalty, you want, because that's what you would expect from the other person to do when you're not around to defend yourself. And so I did that, and unfortunately she ended up doing something that I was very hurt from. She ended up going behind my back and speaking badly about me, and it hurt me because I was there for her, I heard her, and I tried to motivate her and everything, and I didn't expect her to do that to me. And I was so upset. I was so like mad, because I feel like I was hard on myself, because I said, you know what? I should have just listened to what everybody else was saying. I should have just known, or I should have just seen the signs of how this person is, or the patterns, But at the end of the day, like I said, I am my own person. I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I like to, be there for people regardless of their past or whatever they do, or whatever they like to do, you know. So I eventually made peace with the whole situation. I made peace with myself, with my heart, with my feelings, you know. And I feel like me talking about it now is a way of like me kind of letting the situation be or letting it go, you know, and finally putting it to rest. Um, I think most of the time we get hurt by someone and we end up kind of judging everyone or kind of you know, just giving up hope for people or for friendships or for anything in life, relationships, whatever the case is. And I feel that I finally realized, or I've came to a point in my life to realize that good people still exist, you know? Um, I can't be mad at the world. I can't be mad at life. I can't be mad at nobody. And I feel like it's just not in me anymore, you know, to be upset all the time, to be like angry over situations. I can't, like, it's just not in me to just have hate towards anybody. It's not in me to hold resentment towards anybody. And I'm very grateful for the life I have. Um, I'm grateful for everything I've gone through. I'm grateful for how far I've come. And I'm grateful for the things I have and the people who surround me now. And honestly, I can say maybe a year ago me, 2 years ago me, even 6 months ago me, would have never imagined to be where I'm at now, would have never imagined to be around the people I am now or have met or built those relationships with the people that I have built a relationship with now, you know. Um I'm still learning to kind of, you know, separate, not separate, but kind of like identify or distinguish what people's true intentions are. Um, because again, like I said, I'm such an empath and I feel like I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Um, and I don't know. The reason I'm bringing this subject up is because, like, again, uh, I wanted to do this episode a couple weeks ago when the whole situation with Nancy went down, but I feel like I was just very upset. I was very, very hurt and upset to the point where, yes, I cried. I cried over the situation because I was so angry. And I know that I had enough anger in me to cuss her out or, you know, kind of just beat her, freaking punch her in the forehead and tell her to shut up, you know. You know, I don't know. Maybe a year ago, me would have probably confronted her and been like, you know what? You a shisty ass bitch. You're fucking fake. And that's why nobody wants to be around you. You're sick in the head. And you're very manipulative. You're ugly and you're an ugly soul. It doesn't matter if you have a pretty face, but you have an ugly soul and you're an ugly, ugly person in the inside. Okay, I had to take that out because it was in my chest. Y como dice mi mamá, mi pecho no es bodega, and I can't hold shit in, you know? Sometimes I try to be calm and I try to be at peace, but, you know, sometimes people be testing my patience. Jesus Christ. But it's okay. Okay. Come on, Nicole, get it back together. Get it together, girl. So, yes, that was me making peace with the situation, you know? Fuck that bitch, Nancy. Fuck bitches get money. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But honestly, like, I don't know, what's something that you guys have kind of like held back from doing. Like I said, not because you didn't want to do it, but because you weren't ready. That's one of my main questions. Another thing for me, this week, like for like the past week, yeah, for a week, I haven't gone to the gym. And not because I've been like not wanting to, but it's also because like I've been having lady problems, but I'm trying to go back and I'm trying to go back today, but Jesus, sometimes the body gets lazy, but you know what? You got to snap out of it. You need to get it together. You need to get back on track. You need to, you know, remember that you only live once. I think something else that I've been kind of holding back on, maybe because I'm not ready, is doing lives. That's something that I've kind of been a little bit afraid and also a little bit embarrassed, is going live, because I know that I have like a very small amount of followers. I'm not really out there yet, or I'm not like, I'm not viral. I'm not, but sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's hard. And I feel like I just, honestly, like a lot of the people that were sending me like birthday wishes and everything, everybody was like, I hope your podcast grows. And like, I just felt the love, I felt the love because it was like, fuck, like, it's something that I've been wanting to do. Like, my podcast, me doing a podcast had been something that I wanted to do um since like, I want to say 2023. And I started a podcast with one of my really close friends. She and I, we went through something difficult, and it was when my mom passed away. And I feel like that kind of turned off the motivation, or that just killed the inspiration in us. um but she has also been very, very supportive of my podcast. Now she has always, you know taken the time to have those conversations with me. And she's a mom now, and I love that boy. I love her baby. Like, that baby is my baby. Like, that boy drives me crazy. He pulls my hair. He smacks me in the head. He does whatever he wants with me, but I love that boy. I cannot live without that baby. Um Hopefully she comes out soon, because you guys would be like, me and her are like Dumb and Dumber, but when we get in the zone of speaking about like real life situations, or like true stuff, or like deep conversations, like we go deep, deep. And we were talking about something the other day, and we were talking about um spiritual growth. We were talking about my podcast. We were talking, and I think I mentioned this the other day, and I think it was thanks to her I was able to find a topic for my episode like 2 weeks ago, because I was talking to her about people who are living in the surface level. Once you get into spirituality, it's not about um it's something deeper, and it has to do with your soul purpose, with who you are, and what what it takes to grow and become a better person. I feel like that's also another person. No, I'm sorry. That's also another reason why I forgave Nancy, because I started kind of analyzing the situation, and I started kind of, seeing the patterns with her behavior, and how she acts, or how she kind of, don't get me wrong, like, she's very well spoken, but honestly, like, she has a lot of deep inner work to do, because the thing she does is just not okay for a human to do. Um and I mean, everybody does whatever the hell they want to do, but honestly, I feel like because she has has no soul purpose, or maybe because she doesn't live in tune with herself and lives life however the hell she wants, and she just kind of, goes around messing around with people, or, kind of hurting people and not giving a crap of who she hurts throughout her life journey. That's why she is the way she is. That's why, I feel like now that's how I see people. So that's how I kind of categorize people, where it's like, okay, some people might not know about spirituality, but they're still good people. Some people, like, they have really good, like, hearts. They're very kind people, and they, regardless of whatever they've gone through, like, they bring love and joy and peace into your life. And then there's other people who are just going around hurting people, um because they're just very ungrateful with life. And I think it might be my third eye, honestly. Like, it's just my third eye that's open, you know, and I can see with my third eye. No, I'm kidding, but I don't know if you guys get the point. But honestly, what other things have happened to me? I think, you know what is funny? So on my birthday, what else happened was that I ended up getting a haircut. Um, and my lady that cuts my hair or whatever, she was going through a situation, personal life situation, which I know that maybe she wasn't like fully, like, there, present at the very moment. And it's okay, it's life. But she ended up cutting my bangs like shorter than what I expected them to be. And she fucked me up. She fucked me up. She fucked up my bag. She fucked up my hair, bro. And instead of getting upset over the situation, instead of crying over the situation, or messing up the whole day, or crashing out about it, I literally just fucking laughed, and I was like, okay, there has to be a solution. I have to find some way somehow. I have to find some way somehow to fix this. So I ended up finding some bobby pins. I put my bangs up just like this, and we called it a day. And that's it. What else has happened to me? Oh, the other day I was driving to work, and I was almost there. And I was at the light, and a freaking bird pooped right in front of me, like on my windshield. And I was singing, and then out of nowhere I just see like the poop on my freaking windshield, and I was cracking up. I was like, damn, it must be a sign that today is a lucky day. I don't know if you guys heard, but I don't know where I heard this from, but I'm pretty sure that most of the Latinos believe that if a bird poops on your windshield, it's good luck, it's money. So, I had to take it as a sign that it was good luck, and I was going to be a busy day, and, we are going to make that money that day, whatever the case is. But that's how I took it. And I feel like that's how I'm taking life as of right now. It's just, life is beautiful, fuck it. Sometimes shit happens, but there's things that we just can't control. There's things that we just can't, like, kind of change. It is what it is, and you either, like, just laugh it off, or you fuck up your whole day. And I feel like that's just how I'm taking life from now on, just laughing it off. It's just a simple thing that just happens in life that we can't change. Um, but to all of this, we just can't change people or situations that happen to us in our daily life. And I feel like we've just I've just learned to to go with the flow. I don't know if it's because it's 27s that are hitting me, but I feel like right now I just, like, I feel like life is just lifing, and I feel like I need to accomplish things, and I need to put my mind and focus and to what I want to achieve. And I just feel like right now I have a lot of things that I want to do. And one thing for sure is growing my podcast, growing my social media, um like I said, sometimes I feel a little shy or embarrassed to go live because sometimes I feel stuck. Um but I would really, really love for you guys to come out. I would really love for you guys to, share your stories, whatever the case is. Even if you have to vent, I love when like I just hear people venting because sometimes it helps your soul. It helps, your spirit to kind of just vent and let things flow or let things be what they have to be. And um, I feel like that's something that has helped me grow as well. It has helped me in my healing journey and in my growth journey, has been talking and speaking about the situations that have happened to me, or the experiences in my life, or the stories that I've had, or the craziness or the chaos that has been going on around me. I feel like that has helped me a lot because it's like um if you keep in so much, or if you keep in your emotions, or if you keep your things in, sometimes it just stays stuck there, and it represses into your soul and into your chest, into your heart, that eh, the best thing you can do is just talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Find someone you can talk about it. Find someone you really trust, and even if you have to find a therapist, like just talk about whatever you're going through. I feel like that's why I'm also very grateful for my podcast because it has helped me a lot. Um, Sometimes I still forget to kind of talk about things, or sometimes I still forget to kind of, um, share my experiences, not because I don't want to, but sometimes I'm just not ready. But you never know, maybe whatever you speak about, or even whatever I speak about, can help someone out there that's probably going through a similar situation, or um probably has gone through the same situation and they just feel stagnant or they feel stuck. Um, but honestly, I have found that talking about it, or even journaling does help a lot of people, writing down your emotions, writing down whatever you're going through, writing down feelings you feel repressed, or things that have hurt you, or things that, you feel that you can't talk to other people. Sometimes writing about it helps as well. There's different forms of releasing whatever you're going through. For some other people, it's going to the gym. Uh, I know for sure when I'm I have so much in my mind, being at the gym, like 3 hours are like probably 30 minutes to me at the gym. And I can just work out, work out, work out, work out. And the thing about me is that I like to lift heavy weights. Um, I think that that has helped me. And I feel like you just have to find your own thing to do, or your own thing that can help you, kind of grow, or um feel at peace. For everybody is different. I can't tell you only one thing works. Um for me in this case, because I have learned to talk about whatever I've been going through, or I have learned to share my experiences with you guys. Um I kind of already learned, okay, yeah, I want to talk about it. And I did want to talk about the situation that I went through, but I felt like I wasn't ready just yet, so I kind of held back from talking or speaking about the situation. But also remember that to check up on your people. You know, you never know. You might feel okay, but the people around you, they might be going through something. The people around you might be feeling some sort of way, or the people around you might be in a situation. and where like they don't know how to ask for help, or they don't know where to start, And sometimes it's always good to check up on your people. I know that for sure I have good people in my corner that when I was going through things, they checked up on me. My friend Jessica, she was a really good she has been a really good friend, and I will remember when I was going through something and I told her like, "Hey, like I feel depressed, bro." And she would call me sometimes, even to fucking talk shit to me or even to like yell at me. She's a little toxic, but I love her. Like, I love her ass. Like, ay no, me gusta la tóxica. Like, así es ella. Pero, it's she brings like that little life back into me, into my soul. And Iveta, Iveta is just a crazy, crazy person. Like, she's always yelling at me too, like, Nicole! And she always makes me laugh with like the random shit that she comes up. And then there's Geraldine. Geraldine's always like, ay, Dios mío, me estresas, Nicole. And then there's David that's like, hey, what's up, Cocho? And then there's Zach with his ghetto-ness and his craziness and always trying to crash out or do something stupid. Like, I've learned that there's a lot of people like, and the little things that like shows or they all have their own identities that it just kind of like, it's like, fuck, like, okay, like this person's funny, or this person, like, just by hearing them, like, oh my god, sometimes they come up with like the most randomest shit ever, or sometimes they say like the stupidest thing ever and they just make you laugh, and then they make you forget about like the shit that you're going through in life. And then you know I just feel like sometimes it's always good to have good people in your corner. It's always good to um check up on your people as well. And I just I wanna I wanna say that I'm very grateful for each and one of them. Um Also for Jabril, he has there's been times where I have felt unmotivated to go to the gym, and he's like, hurry up, get your ass up, we're going to the gym. And like he just makes me laugh with the randomest shit that he comes up with. And I don't know, I hope that I also bring joy to my people, and I hope that I also bring that laughter into to their life, or I hope that, I bring them some sort of peace, or I don't know, that sense of relief that they see me and they're just like, fuck, like today's gonna be a good day, like we're working with Nicole, or like, oh yeah, Nicole called, like, yeah, fuck, like she just made me forget about all my shit. Like for example, Amairani too, she has been a very good friend as well. Like, uh she sometimes calls me and she's probably either crashing out or she's just stressing about something, and I'm just like, Amairani, like, dude, like, bro, like, just let it go, brother. And or sometimes she calls me and I'm the one crashing out, or sometimes we're playing phone tag, and it's just the small things that people do, and that make you feel alive, you know and I'm very grateful for each one of them, each one of them. Also for Jacob, even though he can be kind of dumb sometimes, like, or he does the dumbest shit ever sometimes, but he's also a good friend. Little Ahmed, oh my god, sometimes he asks like 30 questions to one question, and like I've just learned to kind of go with the flow and be like, okay, Ahmed, I know. Yes, Ahmed, yes, yes. Or no, Ahmed, yes. Or like, I just feel like um I've kind of learned everybody's little humor, sense of, humor or their character. Then there's Maria, Maria um is always giving write-ups. But she's so kind. She's so kind. She has such a kind heart. But she's good at giving write-ups, it's funny. Um, then there's, let's see, Karina. Karina's like 10 different places all at once, and because she's a mom. But Karina is one of my best friends. I love Karina, and we have gone through a lot together. She has been there for some of my like hardest moments, like when my mom passed away. Like she was there when I received the news, and she would always check up on me. I know that sometimes we don't spend as much time as we used to because she's a mother now, but I love her and she knows that I'll forever have her back. And if she ever needs somebody to fight for her, she knows I'll be the first motherfucker to fucking get on my car and put that bitch on sports mode and drive to her wherever she's at. Um, who else? My brother Tony, he has been a good, like a huge, huge, huge support system in my life. You know, he's always had my back, whatever I'm going through, or whenever I've done something stupid. Like, I know that he's always there, or whenever, like, I want to do something stupid with him, like, he's always down for anything. And whenever I've needed to talk about things that maybe I feel a little bit stupid talking to other people about, like, I'll go to him. That's my carnal gas right there. You know, who else? There's also my sister, Amir. You know, she has played a big role in my life and in my healing journey. She has been one of the people that have had the most patience for me, and has always been there, and she's always been so supportive and has never given up hope on me. And I hope that I'm making her proud, and I hope that we make it out the trenches, twin, because we finna be rich. um but I love my sister and I respect her and I love her with all my heart. She has always been that second parent figure in my life. And then there's my sister Lucero. My sister Lucero, she's more calm, but when it's time to, get litty fucking titties, like that's the one you call my sister Lucero. And she's so fucking supportive. If I tell her I want to fucking go bald right now, she'll be like, do it, girl, do it, just do it, just fucking do it. Or if I tell her like, hey girl, like I'm about to fucking rob a bank, and like she'll be like, okay, where's it gonna be at? Like she's always there to fucking, go with the flow, whatever is going on. And I love my sister Lucero. I know we don't talk as much, but I know that she's just one phone call away. Um, and honestly, like, I feel like I'm very grateful for each and one of you guys listening. To all the followers out there that are following me, thank you so much. I know that um I'm barely starting, like I said, and I'm new to the whole podcast industry or the social media industry. I'm going to try to be more, consistent with my social media. I'm going to try to be, more active with my social media. I think that's one of my biggest goals this year as well, to be more active and to be more present. And I most definitely want to grow my platform, and I would really love for you guys to come and join, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for all your love and support. Um, I couldn't have been more blessed to have each and every one of you in my life. Uh, and thank you guys so much for watching. Remember that I'm just a text message away, a phone call away, a DM away. If you guys ever want to vent or speak about anything, I will always be here for you guys. So thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day. And this was La Verdad Sana podcast. Thank you guys again. Have a good one.